Hello, everybody. This is Brian Baugh, creator of Wolf and Batsy. Doing my second drawing video here. Picking up right where the last drawing video left off. I was working on this blank variant sketch cover, and I did this wolf head last time around. But I didn't have an idea for exactly what I was going to do with Batsy, so I thought maybe I could see if I can put Batsy in here today. So I was thinking about trying to put Batsy in here. I think I got an idea for how to finish this off. So, as I was explaining on my previous video, I'm not really the most comfortable artist in the world when it comes to drawing on camera or drawing when people are watching. And I said, if you guys liked it, leave a comment on the video and let me know if you liked it or not, or if you hate it. And I was hoping everybody would just complain about what a terrible amateurish video it was, and that would give me an excuse to not do anymore. But instead, I got a lot of nice comments. Now I feel like I have to do another one. So I can already see I'm making mistakes on this right off the bat, which is what happens if I try to draw while people are watching. I can already tell her eyes don't match. I can already tell I drew her chin too short. Let's just start over. I got to get in the zone. And that's extremely difficult for me to do if I don't have music playing or an audiobook or something. I get my old brush here to wipe away the eraser shavings. This brush was accidentally borrowed from Fairborn High School in 1990, and I've used it ever since. So, take two on Batsy. Let's see if I can actually do something right and not screw up. You know, Batsy is a lot harder to draw than Wolf, because she's got to be cute. Also, size relationships between characters is a major concern. That's something you never think about when you're just, an amateur comic book artist. But when I got into working on in animation, boy, that's a big deal. They pounded that into my head. And it's tricky sometimes to frame Wolf and Batsy together because she's so much smaller than him. But keep him in the background, keep her in the foreground. That usually helps. See, look at that. Her eyes don't match. Yeah, see, I am definitely not loosened up yet today. No. All right, get in the zone, Brian. Okay, so at this point in the video, you can see me continually messing up Batsy's eye here. And so at this point, I became let's just say, out of sheer frustration with this whole distracting process of trying to draw while talking and filming a video, I finally just said, to hell with this. I need to just shut up and draw. So, and I'll figure out what to do with the audio later. That's why I am now recording this as a voiceover. I'm watching the video along with you after the fact and talking over it. Later on, when I start inking this drawing, I actually even went so far as to put on my headphones and listen to music which is what I normally do when I draw, and it sets the mood and gets me in the groove and blocks out the world and helps me get into that sort of fantasy mindset where I'm able to draw and really focus on what I'm doing. Which, now I think maybe this is the solution to my problems with making drawing videos. Maybe this is the way to do it. Draw the way I normally draw, listen to music, and then record a voiceover later and talk through it like that. I'd love to put, the music I'm actually listening to while I'm drawing on here as the audio, but, well, I've heard a lot of things about YouTube and their copyright policies. So, maybe it's a better idea just to do a voiceover. And with all of that explanation out of the way, I suppose we better get into the video here. Oh, yeah, but of course I made, one other amateur mistake, which is I didn't really come up with a topic to discuss before recording this voiceover. That was brilliant, but I feel like Tote in Raiders of the Lost Ark when he's like, "What shall we talk about?" Okay, well, here you see me finishing up the drawing. I came up with the idea of having Batsy standing in a jack-o'-lantern. And here I'm sure that I'm very begrudgingly drawing clothes on her. All right, fine if I have to. And that brings us to the point where I feel pretty comfortable jumping into the inks any day now. All right, I suppose I'll ink her now. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, this was the point where I really tuned out the camera, tuned out the world, put on my music, and broke out my ink brushes and went to town. Started getting into it. I don't know, I guess it's a really weird, pretentious, psychological artist thing, but something about having the right music on and drawing with my ink brushes, it's like, I don't know, it's like channeling the spirit of whatever character you're drawing, it's like, that's when they come to life. That's when they feel very real to me. Now, in this case, when I was inking this particular drawing, I was listening to the band God Module and their album Seance. Some of my favorite songs on that album, they have a song called Devil's Night, which is about Halloween. They have a song called Plastic, a song called Into the Outside, and the song that really, really got me going and got the inking vibes flowing was a song on that album called Remember. Yeah, I thought it'd be really cool to like play those songs, like make that the audio over the video, so you could kind of like, experience this drawing the way I was kind of experiencing it as I was creating it. But again, I don't want to do anything against YouTube's copyright rules or whatever, so we'll just pretend. But if you want to turn off me talking and fire up that album, you'll be hearing what I was listening to while I was drawing this. So anyway, but particularly, yeah, that song Remember, that one was my favorite of the bunch. Anyway, let's see, what else can we talk about? Well, okay, I'm recording this on October 10th, and just over the weekend on Sunday, took my little girl to the Halloween store. I was in need of some supplies for my upcoming costume. And that might be something you guys would be interested in. So, the fact that I'm kind of a, I don't know, monster movie fan and Halloween fanatic is probably not by accident, because The town where I was born and raised, Fairborn, Ohio, is a very Halloweeny town, let me tell you. Just to give you a little context. So, okay, yeah, I was born and raised in Fairborn, Ohio. I was a kid of the 70s and 80s. Graduated high school in 1990. Went off to art school in Columbus, Ohio. Loved Columbus, stayed there for a long time, about 6 years. And then in 1996, I left Ohio completely and moved out to California for my career in TV animation. And then just last year in 2022, our little girl turned 5, and I wanted her to grow up with her grandparents and extended family, so we moved back to Ohio. And, when we moved back here, I just assumed, we'd probably end up living somewhere in the Columbus area because, again, I love Columbus. And, that's the big city out here. And, the art school is there and all kinds of companies and job opportunities are there and everything. But lo and behold, no sooner did we get here than the housing market went to crap. And literally everybody we knew, everybody we talked to that knew anything about real estate was like, this is not a good time to buy a house. So we said, okay, fine. We will just settle for, an apartment as a temporary place to stay and have our own space. And, we'll get back to seriously house hunting again when the housing market gets back to normal. And we looked around all over the area, found a really good place, a big apartment, actually. Nice place. But guess where it is? Okay, it's on the outskirts, but it is right on the edge of good old Fairborn, Ohio, where I grew up, where I was born and raised. And so here I am, back in the town where I was a little kid and a teenager, and I cannot even begin to tell you how bizarre and surreal it is to, after growing up here, but then moving away to go to college and never really coming back here again, except, to visit my family on Christmas and stuff, and living on the, the opposite side of the country for over 20 years, to then come back here and end up living in a place where, my zip code is the same zip code that I was taught in kindergarten. Yeah, it's kind of freaky. But anyway, getting back to the original point, my hometown, Fairborn, Ohio, is, I won't say famous, but it's known for a couple of different things. Number one, if you're a fan of the soap opera The Young and the Restless, there's an actress, or there used to be when we were kids growing up, there was an actress on that soap opera named Patty Weaver. I don't know the name of the character she played, but my mom used to watch that soap opera, and she used to always tell us, see that lady on TV, Patty Weaver? She grew up right here in Fairborn. She was my friend when we were in high school together. So yeah, it's the town where Patty Weaver is from. Also, if you read any book on the Roswell, New Mexico UFO crash, at some point in that book, it will say that the debris from the crashed UFO and the alien bodies were taken to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Dayton, Ohio. Well, that is a generalization. As a matter of fact, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base is located in Fairborn, Ohio. Fairborn being a small suburb of Dayton. So yeah, that's another one of Fairborn's claims to fame, is that we are the home of Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Oh yeah, the Wright brothers were here too. That other incident that happened here that was kind of famous. Yeah, I guess they flew the first airplane here. Yeah, gosh, it's funny that I would think of UFOs before I would think of the invention of air travel. But, you know, that's how my mind works. Anyway, so Fairborn's famous for that too, the home of the Wright brothers. But but yeah, my dad, when I was a kid, he worked at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and many times I asked him to sneak me onto the base and let me see the alien corpses, but he never did. But he did teach me to drive in the Wright-Patterson Air Force Base parking lots when they were, you know, empty on the weekends. So those are some of the things that Fairborn is known for. But the other really big, cool thing that Fairborn is known for, probably my favorite thing that it's known for, is that Fairborn is the home of Foy's Halloween Store. Yes, this is a legendary Halloween costume shop and novelty store that was opened in 1929. My grandparents used to take my dad and my uncle there to shop when they were little boys. It's been there all along, and it has Halloween costumes and Halloween props all year round. And from the time I was a little boy, me and my friends, we would go to Foy's and just look up at all the Halloween masks on the walls, and we'd buy our Halloween masks there when we were, you know, once we had allowance and stuff like that. And it was the place to go to get any kind of like creepy crawlers or, you know, rubber snakes, rubber spiders, rubber monsters, rubber dinosaurs, all your Halloween masks and accessories. And they had all the cool ones, you know, all those legendary masks by Don Post and all those famous Halloween mask companies that made all the really cool high-end ones. And as a little kid, I would just stand there and stare up at all those rows and rows and rows of scary faces and just wish that I could afford to have some of those Halloween masks, because some of them were like $70, you know, back then, and that was a fortune for a kid. But you know, eventually in high school, I started using all my lawn mowing allowance money to buy really cool Halloween masks at Foy's. But yeah, so generations of my family and all my friends' families who grew up here have shopped there. People come from the whole tri-state area to go to Foy's. It's the greatest, and it still has a lot of like lots of old antique type stuff. I mean, I walk in that store and I smell it and I feel like a kid again. It's one of my favorite places on earth. But yeah, so I grew up with Foy's and Foy's Halloween Store. And so naturally, now that I have a little girl, that's where I had to take her. And I was there buying some accessories for my monster costume for Halloween. But, you know, I'm buying this monstery stuff. And my little girl was just super excited to buy jelly beans. That's all she wanted. But she's such a sport, and she's just absolutely fearless when it comes to Halloween stuff, man. I mean, they got those big, you know, monster mannequin characters that are like animatronic, where you push the button and they make crazy noises and move and their eyes light up and all that stuff. And she's not scared of them at all. Some of those things are like 8 feet tall, and she just steps on the buttons and makes them do their crazy, scary noises, and she just laughs and thinks it's funny. And even when they scare her a little bit and she jumps backwards, she'll go back and push the button again and make them do it again. So I think she definitely has horror fan DNA in her. You know, that, what do they call it? The attraction to the repulsion. Anyway, that's the end of this video, and there's the finished cover, and I hope you like how it turned out. And I've talked my head off. I hope you were entertained. Leave me a comment and let me know if you enjoy these videos, and I'll keep making them. All right, that's it. Bye.